Welcome to another episode of the Zoommates Podcast. This is the podcast where we're just trying not to get canceled. I'm one of your hosts, Nick Eden, and to my side, I got my main man, 100 grand, best friend for over 20 years. In the streets, they call him Cinco de Villain. The ladies call him the Philosopher Chocolates and Nestle Snipes. It is D'Artagnan himself. What up, Felt 5?
What's going on? What's going on, man? How's everything? You know what I'm saying? How's your week been, brother?
It's been good. Y'all see how smooth that nigga come in? I'm coming in with all the hype and stuff. You be like, yeah, what up, everybody? You know, how you been? How's your week been? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying? Brother, I got to tell you, man, my week has been fantastic. I've been loading up on content. Q4 is coming up. So in addition to designs and everything, I also been, doing a lot more print on demand content on my Instagram page. Getting ready to relaunch the Morning Cup of Merch podcast and some new content that might be a little controversial, man. I'm calling out some folks that's doing some bad things in POD, and I just finished editing the first, I guess you can call it episode today. So we're gonna see how that goes, man. That's a little different from my usual. Everybody in the POD community always says, "Oh, Nick, you're just so nice and positive," and I'm like, "Yeah, y'all really gonna be surprised when this shit comes out."
Hey, let them know. You gotta let them know the truth. Tell the truth.
Yeah, man. You know what it is? It's for me. I primarily focus on new sellers, and so it's a lot of stuff that goes on, man. And sometimes new sellers can see that stuff and think it's okay to do that, and it puts their account in jeopardy. But then it puts everybody in POD in jeopardy. So I just, it's just time to call some of that stuff out, bro. Yeah. But I got to tell you, I have got to give you props, brother. You and Morgan Jackson. Okay. Because, and shout out to Morgan Jackson. Morgan does a lot of great content on her YouTube channel, Morgan TV. Y'all two put me up on Victoria Monet. And brother, let me tell you something.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I was asleep. I was sleeping on Victoria Monet. I will never do it again. So I appreciate y'all. I've been jamming her stuff all week, bro.
Yeah, she's definitely like an uncovered diamond. You know what I'm saying? Like, as an artist, she's got some of the best, if you're looking for just good, solid, I mean, not even just good, solid, but it's also progressive, R&B, soul, music with the flair, of some hip hop flair. She not rapping or nothing, but like, you know what I mean? Like, definitely check her out. You know what I'm saying? Because her last project, Jaguar, it was out of sight, man. It's out of sight. I love every song on it.
Man, let me tell you something. I'm mad at her though.
No skips.
I'm mad at her though.
What's up?
That We Might Be Falling in Love interlude. That should have been an entire song. Like, bruh.
Yo, the reason I'm not mad at her for that is because she gave us the whole song with the moment. Like, when I heard that, I was like,
listen. Dude. And I don't want to turn this into a music review show. I will say, if you are interested in learning a little bit more about her project, actually on Morgan's channel, she's doing a silent listening party.
She does it. Yeah, she does a listening party for her.
Yeah. So I would definitely go back and check that out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, man, what I love about her is to your point, it's R&B, it's soul, but it's also progressive. Lyrically, she's not talking about all the same things that everybody else in R&B is talking about. And I think sometimes, and I've been guilty of this myself, in R&B, we can be just a little bit limited on the content and the subject matter that we're doing. So I appreciate her for that, man. Like,
in any genre, in order to grow, man, you got to push the envelope. You know what I mean? You can't just continue to, talk about the same things. So it's definitely dope. That's why I gravitate towards artists like her, the internet, like Childish Gambino, like people who are kind of on the, I would say on the fringe of the R&B spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody except The Weeknd. I mean, that dude makes music for haunted strip clubs. I just can't.
I didn't say The Weeknd.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
I get what you mean. He does, you know what I'm saying? I mean, and he has his place too. The reason I say he has his place, he's still pushing the envelope. But I mean, you got people like Miguel out there killing it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Frank Ocean, another person that you put me
Frank
on.
Ocean,
I'll be the first to say, and I consider myself pretty progressive in terms of embracing new artists and everything.
Yeah.
I was not feeling Frank Ocean when he first came out, and I remember Felt was like, man, I'm telling you, listen to that album, it's gonna change your mind. Which is why when I listened to the album, I went on Facebook, I publicly apologized to Felt because I was like, bruh, I slept on this joint for real.
Yeah, I remember the first time I played him for you, and the first time I played like Childish Gambino, you were just like,
yeah,
what the hell is this?
Man, I was listening to Redbone the other day. Oh my god, sonically
man, I'm telling you, man, like he studied George Clinton, like he studied George Clinton, and he brings like so many great elements out. I mean, it's a lot of people who were around in the funk era kind of rip on Donald, you know what I'm saying, because they don't think that he has a singing ability of say like, you know, like Parliament and all that stuff. But I mean, like, yo, it's a different era. Like, I mean, honestly, he's bringing real respect to that music. Like, there's no other funk projects, you know, that I've heard of.
Brother,
correct me if I'm wrong. You know, not for real.
I mean, not that era funk. But I would say the closest would probably be Bruno Mars.
Well, yeah. Bruno Mars is more like in the 80s.
That's what I meant by like not that era funk, but it was still kind of that 80s funk, that Morris Day kind of, you know, kind of in that vein.
It's a different type of funk. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but look, it's good music, and you can tell that they put. My thing is this: if I hear a project, even if I don't particularly like it, if I can tell that the work has been done in it, and you can tell if some work has actually been put in a project, you know, then I'm gonna give it a solid listen, and I'm gonna give it a solid critique and respect. You know what I'm saying? The problem is, it's a lot of people that are literally just getting high and throwing stuff on records, and you can hear that too.
That's true. I would say this much. The way that I looked at Childish Gambino when it comes to, particularly with that album, was I feel like when it comes to real artistry nowadays, there's two type of vocalists right now. You got the featured vocalist that's going to give you, you know, the J Huds, the Fantasias of the world, like the folks that are going to give you that vocal just every time, and they are the feature. And then you have the ones like how Childish Gambino did it, where their voice is almost like another instrument.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. And to me, that is what makes it unique. It's another EP that came out a couple of years ago. As a matter of fact, a lot of people might be, if you've listened to or watched any of Kevin Samuel's broadcasts, he has this one song called Your Good Lies, and it's by a band called Vividry. And I listened to their entire EP. As a matter of fact, on my 4554 podcast Instagram page, I used to do something called Mindset Mondays, and there was a song they have called "Looking for a Fire" that I use in there, and it's the same way with them. It's almost like they are just instruments in the piece, and so to me, that kind of takes me back to when instrumentation was just like front and center on things, right? Like you listen to those old Temptation records, and bro, when I tell you, you're gonna get a minute and a half of just straight instrumental anyway, right? So to me, I appreciate that, and you can tell. I just, like you said, man, I appreciate folks who study music, man. It's hard to have a quote unquote original idea, but there's so much greatness out there for all those young artists if you just go back and study, man. Just like really study.
It's different ways that you can, it's different spins that you can put on, ideas that have already been done that'll make it unique. You know what I mean? And that's one of the glories of, as a music creator, that's one of the things I find glorious about, making music in the first place. But, again, I know that like we're not a music review show. I could go down this rabbit hole all day. I'm pretty sure Nick doesn't want to. So
No, listen, man, listen. Let me tell you something. Y'all gonna quit acting like I don't hate music. I just hate the music business. So
yeah,
that's why But I will say this is particularly these last couple of weeks. I've been probably more excited about music than I have in a long time because I've just gotten a chance to kind of rediscover and discover new artists. And like right before we hopped on the show, I was listening to Khalid again, and his album is just sick. It's dope. Like he's ridiculous.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, man. Hey, it's oh my god.
You know me, I've been stuck in foreign exchange land because the movements and the chord progressions that the foreign exchange use in their music, like you don't hear that in most. Like I don't know, it's like a combination of 80s funk and even the 80s, like the Euro pop era stuff.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with Cy Smith?
Cy Smith. I've heard the name. I haven't heard any of his music.
After the show, I'm gonna send you some music on Cy Smith.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, I'll say this much, and I boldly say this. There's a lot from the album right before Foreign Exchange's first album that came out that you can tell there was a little bit of influence there. Cy is so dope. It's ridiculous how dope Cy is. So anyway, I know we can talk about this all day.
All day, man. Like
but no, man. I want to get to the docket. I want to say, and it's almost in the same vein. A heartfelt rest in peace and condolences to the family of Frankie. Everybody knows her as Keisha Cole's mom. Yeah. She passed away last week. I hate that we're having to do this again, but we know that there's been a long battle, almost a lifelong battle with Frankie and, her drug use. Addiction. And unfortunately, she passed away due to an overdose. So just want to say, man, listen, from this show, Felt has lost his mom. I've lost my stepmom. Just Keisha and the rest of the family, like all the condolences to you all. I know it's not easy, So
losing a parent is that's something that you can't put words to the hole that it puts in your heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially with a mom with a personality as big as mine was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like my mom was like she was like the key to the city type person. So
yeah, straight up.
I mean, like she was everywhere and everyone knew her for good reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So again, rest in peace, Frankie. Yeah, definitely. Keisha, we are praying for you and the rest of your siblings and your kids and everybody there in our thoughts and prayers. So hopefully we don't have to do too many more of these this year, bro. That's what I'm hoping. But I think one of the ways that we can stop doing it, man, is if black folks, why are y'all still eating well done steaks? Let me tell you something. Felt put up a post on Facebook
yesterday.
Yesterday, bruh. I went and I checked because I know you shared it, and so I went and checked the original post, and it's like, what is going on with these folks? Why are y'all eating these hockey pucks? Like, are we serious?
I'm imagining that they put A1 sauce or ketchup or some bullshit on their steaks too. Like, come on, guys. Treat yourselves better.
Let me say this
better, please.
Let me say this. As a kid, even though I was never into well done steaks. At the most for me, it would be medium well. But as a kid, I did like A1. I did like A1 as a kid.
Yeah, I get you. I get you.
I ain't know no better.
You were a kid, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, as a kid, my favorite drink. I mean, I like to put fucking Kool-Aid in a plastic bag with sugar and walk around with it at school. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, that's.
Yeah, we were kickstarting diabetes back in those days. Shit.
Like, I mean, come on, man. Like, you wouldn't walk around with a package of Kool-Aid and some sugar in your pocket now. Like, that's not something that you do. So it's different. But
listen,
my guys. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, my pastor, Dr. Oliver at Elizabeth Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia, said something years ago, and I can still hear him say it clear as day. He was talking about when he was first going out with his then girlfriend, soon to be wife, and they went to a restaurant, and she ordered a steak and went to put some A1, and he stopped her, and he was like, "Whoa, wait, hold on now, hold on." He was like, "No, you got to look at what you got. Good quality steak makes its own gravy."
Exactly.
Like,
at least taste the steak first. Like,
right.
No, guys, treat yourselves better. And someone else, put on my post yesterday, it was a good, piece of information. Those well done steaks that you get from the restaurants are the least fresh steaks. So those are probably just the old steaks that are about to go bad, and you order them burnt. So they'll just burn it for you and just give it to you on the plate. I mean, I would do it too. It's called business. So it's called reducing overhead.
Well, no respectful chef is gonna look at this premium. Nobody's gonna pull out this premium New York strip that's fresh and be like, "Let me char this bitch till until it's like beef jerky." So I get it. It's just
like, I mean, I'm sorry I have to say it, man, but Black folks, we just gotta treat ourselves better, man. We gotta treat ourselves better. I was brought up on the well done steak train. I never really even gave it thought until I became an adult, and then I tried the medium well steak for the first time, and I was like, "Wow, this is life. This is so much better." It was like a whole new world opened up for me.
Yo, I'll also give a quick tip too. If there's anybody that's listening and you're anemic, I'm telling you, a nice medium rare to medium steak will be perfect to help with that. So that's a quick tip. Get you some bloody meat. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
get you a little bit of blood in it.
Right. That's what I said. Like I don't go above, like, the most I'll do is medium well. Like, I mean, but normally it's medium rare or medium for me.
Exactly.
Guys.
Yeah, man.
Treat yourselves better. Treat yourselves better. Take care of yourselves and each other. Tell a friend to stop eating these well done steaks. And then another homeboy of mine said on my Facebook feed, fighters chew on well done steaks in order to get their jaws tougher to take them hits. So do you really want to be, you just walking around chewing on rubber? You might
be walking around looking like Bobby Brown.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
Every little step I take, it feels bad.
Every little step I take on this steak that's on the ground,
man,
you can skate on that bitch.
So look at it. It's your prerogative to do better, people. Okay?
Oh,
look, get you a tenderoni steak. All right. Don't get you a tenderoni steak. Okay. Like, I mean, come on, guys. Don't be cruel to yourself.
Yo,
come on, man. You got to get away from eating these well done steaks. Okay. Look, I can go all day with this.
I was about to say, Felt is on. Shout out to Felt for the quick pivot. Oh my God.
The pun game is crazy. Okay.
Yo.
I've been working on this for years. Don't be cruel to yourself.
Don't be cruel to yourself. Damn. Wow. Okay. I got nothing. I don't even have a transition. Hey man, coronavirus. Listen.
Man. So we are all on our own, Nick. We're all on our own, brother.
Yeah. Hey man, it's crazy.
Too hot to handle,
Too cold to hold.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, coronavirus and the vaccine. Yeah. Mississippi and Alabama are the two states that have the least amount, the lowest rates of vaccination. Yeah, I will say,
and Alabama is the top. The top of the bottom. The bottom of the bottom.
Yeah, Alabama is the lowest. So y'all stop talking about Mississippi. But
I don't have anything bad to say.
In a very shocking turn, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey, who I have tremendous issues with and have from the moment that she took office,
absolutely,
kind of turned on some of her Republican cohorts and shifted the blame of everything to the unvaccinated. Now, here's the deal. Let me just go ahead and say this. I was going to pull the clip, but seeing that YouTube snatched our episode from last week over playing a clip, I was like, nah, I don't want the smoke.
Do you think it'll be the same? Because this is news. That was a recorded program. I think it's a way we can do it. I just think it like we have to like. I know other podcasts I listen to. What they do, they'll play a couple of seconds of it and then they'll stop it and then start discussing things. So that might be a way to trick the algorithm. But hey, that's just an idea.
I'm nervous, so I'm gonna read it for right now. But this past Thursday, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey addressed concerns about the recent rise in COVID-19 cases in the state and its low vaccination rate. In the last 2 weeks, the state has seen over 9,900 cases of COVID-19. In Jefferson County alone, that's in Birmingham, over 1,000 new cases have been reported. So when they talked to her about this, she was quoted as saying, "Let's be crystal clear about this issue. And media, I want you to start reporting the facts." Funny coming from a Republican.
That is funny. the party of misinformation.
Right, because we'll get into Fox News in a second.
Yeah. FAUX News.
Exactly. The new cases of COVID are because of unvaccinated folks. Almost 100% of the new hospitalizations are with unvaccinated folks, and the deaths are certainly occurring with the unvaccinated folks. These folks are choosing a horrible lifestyle of self-inflicted pain.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Well, it seems that in this case that ignorance is not bliss. Hey man, look, I tried to tell you guys, this is what I believe. I honestly believe that Kay Ivey knows that most of the constituency here that are probably going to lose their, loved ones and lose their lives. The majority of those people are probably white. Now there are some black people who doing that. I mean, and I know that, kind of that might be an oversimplification, but honestly, we live in Alabama. Race is pretty much everything here. Even if they try to say that it's not, it definitely is. The overwhelming majority of people who are going to lose their fight with COVID are going to be white folks, because we live in an urban. There are like 3 urban centers. I'm just speaking for Alabama right now. There are like 3 major urban centers in Alabama. That's Huntsville, Montgomery. Well, 4: Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, and Mobile. And outside of that, it's a bunch of rural communities. But in those rural communities, a lot of those people come, and work in the main urban centers of, of town. So there are going to be a lot of positions missing for those folks. Now that'll allow other people to get these jobs. A lot of these people are sitting in and have been sitting in, and plan to sit in until they literally drop. Well, I guess that's what's going to happen now. Hey man, look, if Kay Ivey is telling you guys to get vaccinated, I don't want to hear nothing. I had an argument with a friend, not really an argument, back and forth with a friend on Facebook the other day, who said he's scared of getting the vaccine and all this bullshit. Like, look, and we call her Meemaw down here. If Meemaw is telling the unvaccinated people to get their lives together, then who you think she's talking to? You think she care about your black ass? No, she's trying to tell the white folks to get this damn vaccine, bro. So if she's telling them to get the vaccine, what you think that means? That means that she cares about them. So it's not the Tuskegee experiment, bro. I don't want to hear another motherfucking person say anything about the Tuskegee experiment to me. When it comes to this vaccine, we have millions and millions of case study, and I wasn't trying to do the rock. We have millions of case study to show that this works. There you go. But yeah, man, like
10 millions. I'm sorry, I got to do it.
oh, come on, man. Like, think, McFly. Think. Come on, guys.
So
Think.
listen, last year in Mississippi, when everything first hit, you had all these folks that were just like, we don't believe this. We're not putting on masks. We don't want to shut down the whole nine. And when the numbers first came out, because see, they were scared at first. And then when the numbers first came out, the rates were higher among Black folks. Well, why is that? Most of the Black folks were essential workers, right? And so after the shutdown, like they were like, oh, they're fine with it. And when those numbers quickly shifted and they saw that white people were becoming the people who died the most in the state of Mississippi from COVID-related cases, all of a sudden, oh, we're shutting everything down. We got the mandatory curfew. We've got, we've got the mandatory mask, and it just continued and continued. I'll say this much. I don't think this needs to be something that should be racially motivated, but let's be honest. It is, I would say it's 50% racially motivated and 50% motivated by socioeconomic status, which does still turn back to race. When you look at the people, the majority of people that are, just in these areas that are socially and economically disadvantaged, it is people of color. So for me, my thing is, and it's funny because I even saw some of my friends saying, oh, well, I don't know who this Kay Ivey person is, but she's saying stuff like this. This lets me know everything I need to know about her. I said, really? It was one guy in particular. I was like, that's interesting because you guys share a party. You also share the same voting patterns. So it's really funny that it tells you everything that you need to know about her. It should also tell you everything that you need to know about you. And that this whole thing is a matter of convenience. I understand it. Listen, I get Black folks. Listen to me and listen to me clearly. We have every reason to distrust every institution in the United States because historically we have been targeted, disenfranchised, and in a lot of cases snuffed out.
But you have to think. You have to think about the differences of what's happening here versus then. You know what I mean?
I will say this. When it comes to it, and I'm not saying that one is necessarily better than the other. Don't get that damn Johnson & Johnson.
No, don't get that.
Shot.
Don't get that. Get the Pfizer. Get the Moderna.
Brother.
Preferably the Pfizer. That's what I got. I got the Pfizer.
Well, I got the Moderna. But
hey, so you have two use cases right here on this podcast of the two different vaccines that we trust that we both got, and we're sitting here in front of you. We good,
right? My arm was sore after the first and second shot.
Yeah,
but other than that, bro, I was good. Well, I was a little loopy on one, but I was fine the next day. But my thing was this. Johnson & Johnson ain't got lotion right past toddler age, so I'm not trusting them to do no damn. But they've been killing motherfuckers with baby powder for generations. So I'm not. Plus, I'm not trusting them. Like, hey, y'all just come to us, and it's two reasons I don't trust them. First, when you look at the fact that they're saying, yeah, it's just a one shot with us. All you need is one shot with us. And then when you look at it for the areas that are closest to Black areas, because I mapped this out in some of the major areas of Mississippi that have a high population of Black folks. CVS, sorry, I'm gonna have to call y'all by name on this. Ironically, the closer a CVS was to the Black neighborhoods, it was the Johnson & Johnson site. The closer it was to white neighborhoods, it was Moderna and Pfizer. I was like,
wow.
So that definitely let me know everything I needed to know.
Wow. Yeah, man.
I mapped out on the coast. I mapped it out in Jackson. I mapped it out in Hattiesburg, and I mapped it out in areas of the Delta. And when I tell you every area where CVS was, the closer it got to the Black neighborhoods, it was Johnson & Johnson. And further away, it was the Pfizer and Moderna. I'm telling you, bro. So again, I understand the distrust. I understand the distrust completely. The distrust is valid. I don't want anybody to think that it's not valid. And I respect anybody who's like, you know what, I'm just not going to do it. But know the risks that come along with it. Because, it's just, bro, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it.
Ask what vaccine that they're using. Don't go into it blindly. Do your research there's plenty of research on all three of these vaccines out there that you can look at that is not, the mainstream media, coverage of it. You can do some research and find out, real statistics. I did not know what Nick just said was a thing.
I want to know if it's the same in Alabama though.
That is alarming. Well, you know me, bro. Like I go to the one close to my house, and I mean, while I live in a black area, places that are near here are, they can be very white.
Oh, I know. Don't forget, I used to live 3 streets over from you.
Oh yeah.
Trust me,
like 10 minutes down the road is a very affluent neighborhood, from me. So you know what I'm saying? So I go, so we kind of share the Walgreens that we go to. I mean, in short, go get your vaccine, get your pack of AAA batteries and some potato chips, and enjoy life, man.
Yeah.
Look, I got my vaccine. Like Nick said, his arm was sore. My arm was sore. It was sore for about a day and a half. You know what I'm saying? The second shot, nothing happened. I didn't have anything happen with me for the second shot. The first shot, like, say I got a little bit sick or whatnot. And then, when I talked to the pharmacist, he said that the first and second shots are basically they are the same thing. You're just getting the second dose. It's the same dosage. It's nothing different. So I guess my body had, already gotten used to it. But yeah, man, like, get the vaccine, because I read an article the other day, 96% of people who are hospitalized from this Delta variant are unvaccinated. 96%. In this state, only 33.7% of people are vaccinated. So that puts everyone in an immense risk. And I mean, the more people that group up with this Delta variant, that could cause a new mutation to happen. That's what happened in India. That's why we got these variants in the first place.
Because, I was about to say, isn't there another variant?
Yeah, it's a lambda. It's a lambda variant. It's a lambda variant that they're talking about now, and we don't know. We don't even know much about that one yet. Like I mean, self-admittedly, I haven't done a lot of research on the lambda variant so far, but I will be doing it. But yeah, guys, like, I mean, if you don't have the vaccine, you're not protected at all. You know what I'm saying? Right. Do you know that is 1,000 times more of a viral load in this Delta variant than the original strain of COVID-19 that we were dealing with last year that everybody was scared and locked down from? 1,000%, 1,000% more viral load.
Listen, let me tell you something. And just so everyone knows, we are not claiming to be experts in,
I'm not a doctor.
In matters of, right. We're not doctors. We're not in none of that. But what we are is we are folks that are concerned about our people.
Yeah, and we're well-read people,
and we've lost folks to this pandemic. Yeah. So, I was reading something a couple of months ago. They were essentially saying that at this point, with it being so, it's mutating at a rate. The best case scenario that we can hope is that this pandemic becomes an endemic, to where 2-3 years down the line, it's just similar to your flu shot. Like you mean an epidemic? An endemic. It's so basically meaning that they've curbed it enough to where it still becomes a thing. It's basically saying this shit ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
This shit like may stick with us. The flu shot, the common cold. This shit is not going anywhere. It's mutating at a rate that we just can't. That we can't. We don't have enough participation because, again. And what's funny to me is, and I don't necessarily agree in the closing of the borders again, because quite frankly, we can't get our shit together here. You get what I mean? So like they're closing the borders in Europe, and they're not allowing anybody to travel to the US. And my thing is, okay, if that's what you want to do, all right, I don't necessarily agree. But if that's the case, we got to get our shit together too, because we're going to other places. And I'm not being funny. We act so damn stupid about it. Like we're possibly going to other places and contributing to the mutation. Exactly. So we're just as at fault as other areas. So it's just, I don't know.
If I was listen, if I was from another country, if I was from, any part of Europe, or if I was from, parts of Africa or something, I'd be like, look, America is the ghetto. I don't want to go there, right now, because it is, like
Hey, President
we,
Otto in Ghana, he was like, "Hey, I love y'all, but y'all motherfuckers can't come over here right now."
yeah, and that's a shame too, because have you seen? Never mind. That's a shame, but
I'm not fooling with you.
hey man, I'm sorry. Look.
So
You said Ghana. All I can think of is the Instagram page about certain aspects of the country that that prove that God is real.
I'm gonna leave it alone. All I'm saying
He
is,
is real.
Follow Ghanaian beauties on Instagram. Anyway, no,
Ghana vibes.
Ghana vibes. I forgot about Ghana vibes. Yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway, so yeah. So what's also funny about this is, you've had people like Sean Hannity and Tucker Carlson who've been pushing this whole anti-vaccine. Come to find out, it was uncovered that not only were they vaccinated, Fox News was basically like, "Hey, listen, if y'all coming to work here, y'all got to be vaccinated." So that's exactly what I mean by
to hear it.
Yeah, the misinformation, and yet they get on these screens every night and they put this out in the world, and
they lie.
And for what it's worth, Fox likes to talk about the mainstream media. Fox News is the number one cable news network in the country. Number one. Nigga, y'all are the mainstream media, and y'all putting all this misinformation out, but y'all sitting there vaccinated.
They are liars, dude. That is the grift of all time, man. That's
listen.
I didn't want y'all to get the vaccine. I mean, I'm vaccinated, but I don't want y'all to get it because it's bad,
bruh.
Like, I had to get it, so y'all don't have to. You see what I'm saying?
And what's crazy?
What type of mental gymnastics do the Fox News listeners have to do to? But
you're playing with the lies. Yeah, you're playing with the lies of the very people who support you. And my thing is, if I was a Fox News viewer and that came out, which is so stupid because they immediately say, "Oh, well, this fake news, this fake news." No, nigga, it's real. It's real. They are vaccinated. I don't understand how they maintain. But you know what? There was a strategist some years ago. I'm not being funny. Was essentially like broke when he was doing ad buys for left-leaning politics. Switched to right. I'm not gonna say the guy's name. Switched to doing ad buys for Republican candidates and those who lean right. Quadrupled his income.
Dog, I'm telling you, if I
was like, they're so easy to target.
If I didn't have any integrity about myself, I would get on here and start talking like one of them America First people, and I would move into my mansion next year, because that's what's gonna happen. Do you know
that's what happened with Tommy Lauren? That's what happened with Kim Klacik. That's what happened with Candace Owens and her edge. She lost her morals and her edges in the same week.
Dog. And do you know us as black men, especially me, because I'm like a black man with like hair and all this stuff, all the things that you would not think of.
What are you trying to say, man?
No, I'm talking about like you know what I mean, bro. Like I have I have dreadlocks and you know what I'm saying. Like I could put a grill in my mouth or something like that. I mean, I'm not opposed to it, but I be that person that you would never expect to talk on some right-leaning political bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
MAGA,
I'm a very, you know what I'm saying? I'm a very fight the power type of dude. You know what I'm saying? But for me to get on there, I could be a millionaire in about 6 months.
What did I tell you?
No,
what was it? 2018?
Yeah.
I told you one of my Republican friends was like, "Hey man, he was like, with the way that you debate and the way that you speak, if you came out as a Trump supporting, conservative, you'd be rich beyond measure."
All you have to do is sign this contract that sells your soul to the devil himself.
Hey, listen, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna act like I didn't at least entertain. Hey, you remember we talked about this?
Yeah, we talked about it.
I ain't gonna act like I didn't entertain it for a half a second. Like I hate to admit it.
Look, man, like when we have always had to claw our way up from the bottom of everything. You know, I mean, if an opportunity is presented to us that could help our lifestyle change exponentially in a very fast amount of time, you wouldn't at least consider it. You're not being real with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Now, I would never do it because I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't sleep at night doing what Candace Owens does. I couldn't sleep at night doing what what's that guy Terrence
I know you're talking about.
You know, oh, y'all so cute. Y'all so, you know, that dude.
And don't get me wrong. I want to differentiate those types of black conservatives from the
Michael Steele's.
Right, the Michael Steele's, Eugene Craig. These are folks who are actual, because the reality is this, and people don't like to admit this. Black folks, we pretty much grew up, especially when you consider that most of black folks in this country grew up are in the South. We mostly grew up, fiscally and religiously conservative, socially liberal, but fiscally and religiously conservative. Most of us grew up that way. We value, family values,
and a lot of people are socially conservative as well. I mean,
that's true.
I'm not, let's be honest, man. I was actually, and this is, apropos of nothing. I was watching Robot Chicken the other day on YouTube, like YouTube TV or whatever. And it was an episode from like back when Bush was in office. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at some of the jokes and I was like, wow, that would never fly today. And I was like, man, I was just thinking like, man, how much the world has changed since, President Obama took office. Even after the whole Trump shit, it still hasn't gone back all the way that it was in the early 2000s or the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it was such, people didn't give a fuck about people back then.
Bruh, let me tell you something. Think about because we're gonna go a little off the rails.
As far as like LGBT issue, what? Like
they ain't give a shit.
They ain't give a shit about nothing, dog. They calling you the F word to your face. I'm not gonna lie, back in the day, I mean, I used to use the word. I wouldn't antagonize anybody who's gay, but like we all use the F word in a frequent manner back then. Like in the 90s, I said, man, yo, agate self, man, bro. Do
you remember the movie Double Impact where Jean-Claude Van Damme played the two leading characters? Himself. They were twins. Yeah. I was looking at I was watching.
That was such a stupid movie, by the way. But yeah.
Look, no, I'm telling you something. I went back and looked at it, and it was highly
stupid.
It was highly entertaining. But it was a part when he was like when he woke up and realized that Alex was his brother and everything, and the girlfriend tried to get with him, and he was like, and she was like, he looks just like you, and he was like, I would never wear black silk underwear. Look at him, F it. And I was like, whoa, he said that clear as day. Like I was like, yo, have they bleeped this out in any new stream? Because it's just, bruh. But none of that shit would have survived, bruh. Celebrity Deathmatch.
Oh no, that would have been canceled so quickly, man. Like, dog, look at that. Look at that scene. Like what's our favorite? One of our favorite movies, both of us. One of our favorite movies. Just say it right now. Kid and Play.
Last Dragon.
House Party.
Oh, Kid and Play. House Party.
Dog. One of our favorite movies. The prison scene when he was in there talking about you guys are a bunch of rump wranglers. Dog, that would never fly today, dude. Like, and we thought that was like, we was like, oh,
that was the funniest thing in the world.
That was funny as hell, and we were bobbing to it. The world has changed in an exponential way. And I say that to say that, we were talking about black people and how we were fiscally conservative. Like we were also socially conservative too in a lot of ways. Now, like I said, a lot has changed. A lot has changed in the last like 10 years.
Well, I'll also say this: black folks in America
Better.
have a very unique position, right? We
Right.
don't agree with most of the stuff on the far left or the
No.
far right,
No, we don't.
because in a lot of those spaces we just don't have a place,
And we get
right?
lost. We get lost because people start. Our issue is unique to America. You know what I'm saying?
It's unique to the world.
It's unique to the world. We ain't supposed to be here. They tried to kill us off. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm glad you brought that up because I had this argument with anybody who knows me knows I am pro Second Amendment, period.
Oh yeah, he's a gun man.
I am a gun guy.
I
grew up a gun guy. I've been shooting since I was 11. I knew how to break down and put together guns before I knew how to drive. I've been trying to explain to my far progressive left friends that you will never get the full support of the black community when it comes to gun legislation in this country. Because think about it, I'll be 41 in September. Last piece of legislation signed for the Civil Rights Act was the Fair Housing Act in 1968, 7 days after King was assassinated. That means that was 12 years before I was born, bro. That means black folks in this country have only been with their full rights as Americans for 53 years. Our parents were not born with their full rights as Americans.
No, absolutely.
We are the first. Our sisters and us are the first in our direct bloodlines to be born with our full rights as Americans. Now, you show me any civilization on this country, on this planet, that would de-arm only being 53 years free, and I'll show you a civilization that would be back under bondage in no time. Black folks, particularly black men, we're not giving up our guns. Especially seeing that the same people that they would send to confiscate the guns are the ones that's killing us in the street to begin with.
Exactly.
Because they're shooting they're not going to get Billy Bob's gun first because they shoot with Billy Bob and drink beer on the weekends. Who you think they're coming for first? So, and you can talk about
the purge is about.
Exactly. We can talk about the levels of which, because even Felt and I, we disagree just slightly on the level of which, what type of guns are available and things of that nature. Yeah. But the basis of it all is, bruh, as much as we've been targeted historically and are still being targeted now, I'm not giving up. Even if all I have is a handgun, I'm not giving up my guns. And that's something that the far left seems to never understand about black folks. Meanwhile, the far right, y'all got, and I'm not saying that everybody that's far right is racist, because that's honestly not true. But at a certain point, you have got to realize, no, it's not. It's not. But at a certain point, you've got to realize that a great bit of folks that are lining up with you to vote the same way are in fact racist, and you are either okay with that. And this is why Republicans tend to lose. And shout out to our line brother Said, his dad wrote an op-ed about this. I want to say it was in the Washington Post. Republicans could probably get more of the black vote if y'all would just call out and stop some of the racist shit that people in your party do and people that vote for you do.
They're not going to do that because they believe in it, Nick. They believe in that shit. And that's why I say, if you are far right, if you are far right leaning, the odds are, yes, it's racist. I mean, I don't know, man. I can't look at it any other way. I can't look at it any other way, because the far right basically doesn't believe that I'm a human being. As you know, and their laws and legislation are anti me being a human being, anti you being a human being.
At best, they're apathetic.
Yeah.
At best, they're apathetic.
No, I say they're racist, man. I'm not. And that's the hill that I'm gonna stand on. I'm gonna stand on. If you are far right leaning, you are fucking racist, and I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. No, I'm digging my feet in the ground on this one. You're fucking racist if you're far right leaning, because you don't see me as a fucking human. The fucking goddamn laws that you try to enact say so.
I would say this much, and I know a lot of them call themselves strict constitutionalists, and I would say this: if you're a strict constitutionalist and you adhere to the Constitution, that means you also have to adhere to the amendments that come with it and the voting rights that attack. I have a friend of mine in Boston. He's more of a moderate Republican. He's a centrist, basically. He's voted Democratic in the past. He's voted Democratic in the past. But he's largely voted conservatively. But even he said, like the voting rights laws that the state of Georgia passed, a few months ago, he was like, no, as a conservative, I am upset at that because if I believe in the Constitution and the Constitution has been amended and voting rights in America should be extended and uninhibited to all those who are her citizens. The fact that there's anything that will be passed that will attempt to attack someone who has that right, I have a fundamental issue with. And I agree with him on that. I 100% agree with him on that. Yeah, so it's just about looking once you get past the propaganda, because yes, Fox News has propaganda, but yeah, it's fairly speaking, so does CNN. I've been telling black folks for years, don't act like CNN. Yeah, let's not act like CNN is the hero.
Yeah, CNN is crazy, man. I mean,
let's not act like before Trump started running that CNN was just as problematic, particularly to black folks. That's why it pisses me off talking to people that are on the right wing. I'm like, we've been telling y'all for years. We've been telling y'all for years that the media misportrays black folks. And y'all didn't believe the media was fake until Trump started calling it fake. So I don't want to hear that shit now. We don't trust any of them. That's why I say we're in a very unique position because we got issues with both y'all motherfuckers.
Yeah. And see, this is why we have these sections of blackness that are unvaccinated and don't believe, in getting the vaccine to bring everything full circle. And I to that degree I understand, but it's also a lot of research that you can do on your own, independent of these networks, that will let you know what it really is. Just read, man. If you don't want to read it, hey, get your college educated friend who did read, who cares about your ass, and ask them. I'll be that person for y'all. Get the fucking vaccine, okay? I'll be that person for y'all, okay? I'll be the college educated dude who's read. Get the damn vaccine.
And if you don't get the vaccine, be prepared for the consequences and accept those consequences when they come. And it's nobody else's issue but yours.
And that's scary.
At that point.
That's scary, man, because we need each other. We need every, unless you're out here just, being a thug or some shit, we need all y'all. And I mean, hell, even the thugs, some of y'all got kids. Y'all need to be in your kids' life, in a positive way. And
straight up.
Caveat in there. You know what I'm saying? So we need everyone here. Come on, guys. Let's get it together. Let's get it together.
Listen, all I'm gonna say, man, just get your shit together.
I'm saying this out of love.
We're saying this out of love because we want you all to be safe. We want you all to be, and I know this is more so a comedy style, podcast. We gear a little bit more towards comedy and having a good time because there's just a lot going on right now.
Yeah.
But be safe. Just kind of switching subjects to something that is near and dear to Felt's heart and at least near to mine. Elon Musk is back in the news, bro. First off, I'm tired of all these rich. First off, let's talk about all these rich folks. Bill Gates with his side chick and her acres and acres of land. Jeff Bezos riding a huge blue dildo into space. And now Elon Musk is saying that Tesla may accept Bitcoin again. So
I'm so sick of damn Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the reason that we have the bear market right now in the first place. Elon Musk, damn near single. I mean, it's ridiculous that the power that the crypto community, and all the investors are giving this guy. He is a troll. He literally got on Saturday Night Live and destroyed what everybody thought was going to be the new coin. My man Nick is over there still suffering from that one.
You know what? I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, let me check my invest because
Don't.
I was so pissed off about it, bro. I have not checked on my Doge investment, and because Binance,
Dude, you don't want to know. You don't want
yeah,
to know. You don't want to know what's going on with Dogecoin.
It's been so long that I've checked my Dogecoin. These motherfuckers just asked me to sign in again. Ain't this some shit?
You don't want to know, man. I'm telling you that you don't want to know what's going on with Dogecoin because Doge is dead. Okay, I'm telling you.
And then Binance won't let me sell, and it's almost one of the things where I'm just like, fuck it. But at a certain point, I was up to 900. Off of what it was a $250 investment. Man. I was up to 900. I don't even want to know where it is now. So fuck it, I'm not even gonna try. But Elon killed it. He killed it, and now it's like
see if you can divert it over to USDT or into Bitcoin. You know, probably USDT because that's more stable. You know, like a stable coin or something like that. Like,
so here's my question,
man. Right now,
do you think because we're still definitely in a bear market, just based on what you've seen, do you think that if Tesla accepts Bitcoin again, that it will go back up?
I think Elon Musk has overplayed his hand, and you know, as much power as they were giving him in the beginning, I feel like he swung the pendulum so many times that they're not giving him the amount of influence and power that they used to. The big whales, you know, people who are really buying in bulk, you know, they're moving independent of Elon because, you know, people want stability. And I know Bitcoin is a new currency. You know, in a manner of speaking, it's a new currency. But people still want that stability. Bitcoin is known to be up and down, but we can't allow, they can't allow
you got it. We're investors.
We are investors. I guess I will say we cannot allow the whole community to be swayed by the word of one man who seems to use to be using the cryptocurrency movement as a plaything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? This is people's lives that you're talking about, that people are messing with. So, you know, that's I don't think.
Bro, I read an article when he did that Saturday Night Live episode. An article came out a couple of weeks later about a guy who literally, prior to that episode, had just hit $1 million because of Doge. He sunk a ton of his money in and hit $1 million. And
hope he got it out.
He didn't. And my thing was, it's very simple. Well, here's a more pressing question, because we were on the path to 100K on Bitcoin this year, and now we're at 34.
Yeah, which for all intents and purposes is better because the market has been moving sideways probably about the last 2.5 months.
Yeah.
We've been teetering between like 29 and 32 for the last couple of months. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, to put it plainly, we were at 63
when his dumb ass
probably in what was that, May?
Early May.
We were at 63K. For all intents and purposes, people were throwing out numbers like 250,000 is a possibility, which sounded ludicrous. But you know, a lot of people were experts who were literally saying this. 100K is a possibility, which was definitely seeable because we saw 63K and hadn't even been half the year.
Right.
So, you know, and this idiot, you know, runs his mouth, and I mean, it's not just because of him, you know. But when the whales start moving their money out, people start getting scared and start, you know, doing what I like to call what my man, shout out to my man Bao, who is a
Bao fam,
who is a crypto expert and also a you know, supremely talented engineer. Everybody knows him in my area. They do weak baby hand plays, you know, which means you're taking all your money out. Weak little baby hands. So
weak little baby hand. That's
weak.
What's funny is I can hear Bao very clearly in my head saying that. That's what makes it so funny.
He has
Shout
a
out to
very
Bao.
distinct. He has a very distinct voice.
Yeah. You ain't never heard an Asian dude with that deep of a voice. That's the funniest shit. It's the funniest shit ever. But
Weak ass baby hands. Shit.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to Bao, who's also our frat
shit.
brother. Shout out to Phi Mu Alpha Symphony and Music Fraternity of America.
Shout out.
So I would say this much, and because for a while Bitcoin became the talk of the town, and that in itself made me nervous. If I'm being completely honest, it's no longer the talk of the town. There are other things that have kind of come up. I like it that way too. I like it that way too. Yeah. I am considering making a considerable investment because this is going to bounce back.
Yeah. This is the time, and I keep saying this. I said it on this show before. This is the time to be doing, your investing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like this time when things are down, and I know, and honestly, the fact that Elon gave it attention and more press, makes me want to say, well, leave it alone for a couple of weeks. Don't touch it because it might fluctuate. It might be 34 and hell, it might go down to 29. It eventually will come back up, but you want to try to get it at the bottom and maximize your profit. So don't go near it right now. Because when did he say this? How long ago?
This was just this Thursday. This came out Thursday.
Okay, yeah. Give it about a week and a half. You know what I mean? Like, let it die down. Let any type of real big news things die down. There's a thing that we say in the investing community. It's called buy the rumor, sell the news. Okay, so you want to try to get the news before it becomes actual news. You know what I'm saying? That's why people like to keep, you got to keep your ear to the street, and that's why they have the proprietary information. So don't buy that news when the news comes out. It's too late then.
Yeah. So I'll say this much. And for anybody who invested right before it and you were like, oh my God, what happened? Just look at it this way. Yeah, it was a lot of hype around it. A lot of people were investing coming in. It's at 34,000 right now. And I remember very distinctly the Clubhouse 35K party earlier this year. Right. So it's not, when you look at where it was this time last year, it's still growing. You had a big spike, but it's still growing. So just look, man. And if you haven't, just like Phil said, give it a couple of weeks. And if you just want to start slow, man, take $20 and put it on Bitcoin and Cash App.
Yeah. $20 a week.
Well, I was saying $20. Period, just so they could just kind of see how it performs.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm a fan of the dollar cost averaging method.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You start off slowly. Because that's how I got into it. I was literally putting in like $20 every week. Well, I think I started out at $10 a week. Like very low. I
just set it to come in when my check hit. I automatically put in. That's how I set my timer.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. Like I said, we'll see. Elon, shut up. Either you're gonna take it on Tesla. For what it's worth, it should be noted that Shopify still and has been for a very long time accepting crypto as a form of payment. So if there's a site that you particularly enjoy, this 8 times out of 10 they're hosted by Shopify. So that shows the stability in the investment. Even
Amazon is integrating. Bitcoin payments.
And even the hub. That's all I'm gonna say. The hub, you can pay for a membership on the hub.
Yeah,
I'm just saying the hub, with crypto. So man, crypto's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. And we're still at the very, very front end of it. So there's still opportunity to make a lot of money, man.
Right.
So that's all I'll say with that.
And it's the best. So, and like I said, they're not talking about it right now. That means that is a good thing, for an investor. You want to be able to move in silence. Once they start talking about it, starts blowing up, everybody's going to get in, prices are going to shoot up, and then you're going to be too late. So go ahead.
For sure. Felt, what we got on this GoHot today?
GoHot, man. So the rules for the GoHot is definitely a deviation of the whole one gotta go, where we just call it the GoHot because if it don't go hot, it goes home. Today we are dealing with 4 sensuous, lovely R&B divas, and we have to decide which one of these beautiful ladies goes hot and which one goes home. So today we have Tamia. Yes. We have Kelly Rowland. We have Maya. Maya. Oh, Maya. And we have Ashanti. Now, what aspect are we going for these R&B divas? Are we going based on artistry? Are we going based on thirst? Are we going based on icon level? What are we doing?
I think we should go purely based on catalog, because if we go on thirst, I'm not eliminating anybody.
Yes. All of them go hot. All of them.
Yeah, this gonna be
them are burning hot.
Yeah, this is gonna be the go hot. I stand my damn feet in on. Yeah, like that. I'm dying on this hill.
Blazing hot.
Yeah. So I think we should go on catalog.
Okay, so we're going on catalog. Okay, for Tamia, we got some hits. We got like I'm so into you. You put a move on my heart, which still puts a move on my heart. Stranger in My House. We got see what are some other Tamia hits?
I'm a fan of one of her more recent radio hits.
Oh yeah, the
Leave It Smoking, like that.
Yeah, Leave It Smoking. Leave It Smoking is a joint, man. That's a joint for real. I love it. We got Kelly Rowland.
So wait, I don't want to go just by the individual songs. It's the overall body of work.
Okay,
because we'll be talking about that forever.
Now, are we including Destiny's Child with Kelly Rowland?
Yeah, I think we should include Destiny's Child with Kelly Rowland. I think that's fair.
Okay,
I think that's fair.
All right. So we got Maya and we got Ashanti. All right. So are you going first, or I know Nicholas. I always say, Nicholas, which one of these R&B divas go hot, and which one goes home?
First off, it's hard for me to look. I'm sitting here looking at the docket with their pictures on it now, and it's difficult for me to look at them and not judge them by level of thirst. Let me start with a person that has to stay. I think that I think that the one who has to stay first has to be Tamia. Tamia has given us, while it's just not been a shit ton of albums, Tamia has been consistent her entire career. Consistently, she has given us quality music. She's consistently given us quality singles, definitely quality looks, and a quality voice. Her voice has never wavered. So I would say Tamia has to stay first. The second person, and I'm not even factoring in Destiny's Child catalog, but Destiny's Child catalog would definitely secure her in this space, is Kelly Rowland. And I'll say this much. Kelly Rowland put out an EP a couple of years ago, 3 songs. My God, when I tell you I played that thing back to back, oh my gosh, she had this song called Don't You Worry. And I'll say this much: if you guys liked the last couple of albums that SWV put out that kind of had that, it was an updated 90s kind of vibe, but it didn't sound dated at all, listen to that EP that Kelly Rowland put out and you will be like, oh, okay, yeah, she did that. 3 songs it keeps you on repeat. So Kelly Rowland would definitely be the second. I'm torn between Maya and Ashanti. And listen, if we were going just by vocal styles, this would not be a contest. But if I'm taking in their catalog, I'm taking in production, I'm taking in their writing, I'm taking in consistency, and just the catalog overall. Maya hit the scene with "It's All About Me," and immediately made an impact. Maya is one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen in my life.
That is a fact.
Let me say something. I know we're not going to base it off looks. I met Maya in 2012, 2011 or 2012 at the airport in Atlanta. And when I tell you that woman is stunning, take your breath away, stunning. And she got that chariot. Anyway, but back to the music.
Yes, she got the wagon.
Two of my favorite songs that will be in my top 30 are by Maya. And that is Fallen and My Love Is Like Whoa. Those are two of my favorite.
From the 2003 Mood Ring album.
Thank you, sir. Very, very good. That whole album slapped.
Yeah, I had it. It was a very special time for me.
But
oh boy, had a lot of sex to that album.
But first off, Ashanti's Foolish album. I don't give a damn what anybody says. No, she's not the greatest vocalist, but that album is a classic. I walked my ass down to I walked to Kmart to get that album. That's how long ago that was. I listened to that album over and over. Her albums, her subsequent albums, she's always put out great singles. From an overall catalog standpoint, I would have to say that overall, Ashanti has a better catalog than Maya, and for that reason, and that reason alone, Maya, you gotta go.
Oh, you hate to hear it, man.
But I'm gonna watch you walk away.
Absolutely, Maya. We will definitely watch you walk away, and if you want to, you can come back and fall into my arms. The show's over. Come back and fall into my arms.
Head over heels are falling.
Oh man,
love is you are falling.
Yo, but Anatomy 101 is the one for me.
Woo.
This is what it feels like. This is what it sounds.
I forgot about that.
This is what it sounds like. Yeah, man.
So what you got, Phil?
Okay. So for me, the first person that has to stay is going to be Tamia for me because her voice is so solid. I love it. I love her voice. It's so pure. Like you said, it's unwavering. She, for whatever reason, I'm a big fan of Vanessa Williams. And she reminds me a lot of Vanessa Williams for some reason. I don't know why.
I can see that. No. You're not off base with that. I can definitely see that.
And and it's not just because of that. It's like when I first heard You Put a Move in My Heart, like I caught the feels. You know what I'm saying? I caught the feels when I heard it. And it's like every time I hear Tamia sing, like I literally I feel it in my heart. You know what I'm saying? When she said it was a stranger in her house, and she did in my house, like the baby.
Hey man, let me tell you something. She fucked me up when she said, "Pop quiz, tell me where my spot is." I was like, I don't know where it is, but baby, I will find it and never forget it.
Dog, never. And I mean, dog, like her voice is so strong, man. You know, like it's piercing in a way. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's why Tamia has to stay. I think she has the best voice in this list. Not to be outdone, but Kelly is the second person, that has to stay. I'm not. It's like I vaguely remember the song called "Stole," And I remember how different it was. And because of that, it didn't get that much of an embrace in the US. But it was a European hit. I just remember, man, I was like, this is such a unique song. And then, I mean, you know, later on, she kind of learned her way and started making songs like the Go Lover joint. You know, that's not the name of the song. Motivation. And,
I knew what you were talking about.
I'm telling you, I'm motivated. Okay.
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna say this right now. I say it so you can benchmark it and go back and listen to it later. I want you to listen to the title track from Kelly's first album, Simply Deep. Bruh, if you thought that Stole was, let me tell you something. Simply Deep.
That's the first song on the album. I'm looking on Spotify right now.
Yeah, that joint, Simply Deep. Oh my God. Yeah.
Wow. I'm definitely gonna check that out because I see Solange, young Solange is on here. So I know young Solange was out there. Her pen was proving things, especially back then. So because she was trying to, you know, come out from under Beyonce's shadow for real. So I get it. I'm definitely gonna check that out.
Yes, sir.
So she got to stay. Okay, the next person that has to stay. Oh boy, this is where I differ. Now Ashanti had some great hits, but I've always had issues with her voice. I understand she got a lot of hits. You know what I mean? Like
the pen is sick.
The pen is sick, and the production that she had on the first album was sick as well. However, for me, and this is for me, I had more of a connection with Maya's voice. I had more of a connection with Maya's songs, and I just love Maya, man. Like, you know, like I said, 2003, her Mood Ring album means a whole lot to me, and it always will, because it was a very special time in my life.
I know.
For Ashanti, not so much.
I remember, nigga. Don't forget, I was there. I know.
yeah. You saw who you know who I'm talking about. You know, she may be in this house, but it was a very special time. So for that reason alone, I got to keep Maya, man. I'm sorry, Ashanti. As beautiful as she is, and she is a stunningly beautiful woman.
I am on her Instagram account right now.
Good Lord. But I mean,
Ashanti,
you gotta say good
I
Lord.
will comfort you.
You gotta say good Lord to all of them. There's not a slouch on this list.
Let me tell you something. It's not. If we're talking visually, you're absolutely right. If you're talking just all aspects, you're absolutely right. But I will say, if this were down to just their IGs, Ashanti is the one that's gonna take the cake on all of it.
Maya kind of strong. She kind of strong now,
brother. Let me tell you something. I'm sending you this real quick just in case you forgot. So, like I said, if it were down to just the Instagram account, it's two folks that sit at the top of my list when it comes to Instagram, and that's Ashanti and Chloe Bailey. Well,
for me, it's Chloe Bailey and Nafisa Williams. So,
all right, yeah, check your inbox. Anyway, so yeah, man, so we'll differ on that one. That's cool. There's really no loser on it. Shout out to all four ladies who've had, you know, amazing careers. They sound great. They look great. They still make good music. I told you. Yeah, you thought I was joking. You thought it was a game. I do this shit real time, son. I do this shit real time. Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Exactly.
Oh, Lord.
I do this shit real time. Boy, we're gonna get canceled for this. They're gonna call us misogynists. Anyway, yeah.
Call me what you want to. Just call me being in that pool with her, dog.
Oh my God. Okay. Yo, what up, one down, man? We appreciate everybody for spending another hour and a half with us on a Sunday.
Thank you for listening to this foolishness.
Yeah, thank you for listening to our foolishness. Listen, man, all I can say is, man, drink water, mind your business, get money, and we will
get
see
vaccinated.
y'all. And get vaccinated. We will see y'all same time next week. Take care.
Peace.